Crowdfunding is everywhere, helping people launch businesses, develop art projects, and build papier-mâché busts of Lionel Richie. But increasingly, sites like GoFundMe are being used to help pay for healthcare for people in desperate circumstances. Let's talk about crowdfunding healthcare. Part 1. A brief history of crowdfunding. If you've been living under a rock, crowdfunding is where people pre-buy products or services to show there's a demand, or donate to a cause that they specifically want to support. Sounds great. Let's cut out the middlemen and women and sell $55,000 worth of potato salad direct to our fans. And look, I've got no issues with it. Okay, I've got some issues with this, but ultimately, like taking a shit in the woods in the middle of winter, it's not ideal, but nobody got hurt. But when it comes to crowdfunding medical expenses, I start to get concerned. Let me hit you with some facts. 90% of medical crowdfunding campaigns don't meet their goals, and the median amount raised is only $265 from 5 donors.
Once more for the people at the back.
A third of campaigns have 0 supporters, and it is interesting to see how different platforms have either embraced or shunned this market. Kickstarter is associated with creative projects, while GoFundMe is synonymous with medical care, almost normalizing it. You can think of this style of crowdfunding as the gig economy, where people are forced to compete in an unregulated, individualized marketplace, and it's where the term gig begging comes from. It's like X Factor contestants, where only the saddest and most deserving people get medical care. But why do people need to beg to stay alive? Part 2. The American healthcare system. Where to begin? America doesn't have a comprehensive public healthcare system, and even if you do have insurance, many unexpected costs are not covered. And before you come at me in the comments, I know this issue isn't limited to the US. Canada also has its fair share of stuff insurers don't cover. But I'm going to use America as a catch-all term for any country with a market-driven medical system. After all, I know how much America loves to come first.
America first!
So, until 2010, if you didn't have insurance or cover and you got ill, you had 2 choices. Pay high out-of-pocket costs, or live with the problem until you die. But now there's a third option, asking the internet for money. But sadly, not all campaigns are created equal. Firstly, your campaign needs to be deemed deserving enough and not just a handout, because that would put people off. It's a similar problem that some people had with Obamacare, hashtag not all people, because some people, hashtag not all people, were reluctant to share the risk because that person might die and then it would be a waste of everybody's money. In the book Dying of Whiteness, the author looks at how some people, hashtag not all people, are reluctant to share the resources with people of different racial backgrounds, which obviously is going to directly impact crowdfunding campaigns. Part 3. Crowdfunding healthcare. Crowdfunding outcomes vary significantly based on an individual's resources, skills, and privileges. If you've got media skills, a big network, or famous friends, your campaign is likely to succeed. But people in desperate situations who don't have the time or brain space to create a funny or slick promotional video, or who only have a small circle of friends, are unlikely to see their campaign go viral. Successful campaigns are often framed as a reflection of the creator's moral goodness, and their large LinkedIn following is forgotten about. So a successful campaign means the creator is a good person, because we wouldn't donate to keep a bad person alive, would we? Incidentally, my Patreon is linked below. Also, if you're a poor person, asking for donations might make you feel shameful, so you might not even start a campaign to begin with. Singer Amanda Palmer did a book on the art of asking, called The Art of Asking, and I've done a book on building a career as a creator by asking your audience or crowd to fund your future work, and that is also linked below. Both say the same thing. In the current climate, communities need to pull together and support each other until there's enough systematic change. Building off that X Factor analogy, it's basically a moral economy where people have to tweak their stories to appeal to a wider audience. Only the judge isn't Simon Caine, it's people playing at being God. And don't even get me started on how algorithms can affect a campaign's reach, because only the biggest and most emotionally driven stories have the chance of being boosted. Ultimately, GoFundMe is a for-profit company that makes a significant amount of money from people in desperate situations or natural disasters, and they get a crap ton of our data, which they currently do not sell. But much like Jack the Ripper on a night out, I'm going to take a massive stab in the dark and assume that it's not going to stay that way for long. It's also worth pointing out that crowdfunding often overshadows different types of support that aren't money-based.
What?
I know, me in a hat. I know GoFundMe would have you think the only way to support someone is with your fat dollar, yo. But it's not. And the convenience of donating on GoFundMe may ease your guilt for a bit, but it doesn't address the larger systematic issues or create communities or create political activism, because all of those things take time and effort and energy, and who's got time for that shit? Part 4. What can we do about it? Not a lot. Crowdfunding is a lovely distraction from bigger issues in private healthcare. It shifts the focus onto individual solutions rather than structural reforms, which I know isn't funny, but I did put a video of Mu Deng in the top corner, so hopefully that kept your attention. Even the CEO of GoFundMe is becoming fed up with their association with tragic events and wants them to support more positive causes. So go on, enjoy your instant gratification until it's your turn to need help, and then you'll see how the system go fucks you. Godspeed.